Now, let's jump on into the SLAT. So the underpinning of the SLAT is the post-assessment. We've talked about this already. We understand that it represents professionalism, organization, safety, sanitation, and sustainability, technique, and taste as it relates to learning standards. So the post-assessment process is on a 1 to 4 point scale, as it's outlined in the rubric in Google Classroom. And then basically on the left side, you can see here a sliding scale of no effort, satisfaction, proficiency, which is where I find most students live, and then mastery, where they demonstrate repeated competency and success at a high level. My goal is to see that students complete our courses at proficiency, but I love seeing students demonstrate mastery as well by creating really great food in the class, well seasoned, proper degree of doneness, proper temperature, all of that being demonstrated is something that I welcome. So look forward to using this assessment process to grade your assignments. Let's jump on into the SLAT and what it looks like. So the first page of the SLAT you'll see, and this is going to be in every one of your assignments that are labs. Okay, so you have assignments that are quizzes from Ruby, and you have assignments that are lab assignments in Google Classroom. This is where you'll see the lab SLAT. So both the Ruby and lab SLATs have this template there, but they're formatted a little bit differently. Here, I'm going to concentrate on just the lab SLAT overview. So we're just doing the lab SLAT right now. So you'll see here on the cover page, there's directions here. It says collaborate on orange post slides as a team and complete the green reflection slides individually and submit. There's a link to a video of how to complete the SLAT, which gives you an overview. And then as well, this is the primary cover page. You'll notice that the learning target, which is on the whiteboard on each one of your stations, can be typed in here in the top left-hand portion of the screen. Then over here, your name types in, your team member names. You can just do first name is fine. And then an individual picture of you and an individual picture of your team collectively in the picture together. Just it's a great way for me to learn names and faces quicker here at the beginning of the semester. By the time we're in lab 2 or 3, my hope is to have all names learned, and this is a great tool for me, so I appreciate you completing that. Jumping into what a SLAT should look like. This is an example of a completed SLAT slide. This is for basic rice and grain cookery techniques. This is a postgraduate, Delaney Brown, that completed this. And then the name of her teams in the group. And you can see all the pictures imported. You can use your Skyward picture, whatever picture you want for your individual picture. Okay, and then jumping in, you'll see the PO, S, and T slides. Okay, PO, S, and T. The goal is for you to be able to demonstrate learning in the class as it relates to P being professionalism. So you would select and move the green check boxes to the particular standards that you as a team decided to focus on for this particular week. In this case, Delaney and her team selected to contribute towards discussion. So they showed that collaboration and conversation that's happening. And then again, if you look at the top of the screen, it gives you directions left to right on exactly how to complete the SLAT. You identify the 2 standards that you agreed on in advance to doing the competency. So when I give you the recipe on Tuesday, you're going to go ahead and identify these standards and focus on taking pictures that evidence the standards. So it says here, drag the check marks to the left of your pre-selected professionalism standards. So you would move the check marks from this box up to here and here in this case. Explain who and how your team demonstrated the 2 standards. So evidence that with specifics about who did what. And then you're going to simply evidence the standards by supporting the evidence completion of the 2 standards with 2 aligning photographs. And you're going to insert the photographs in these 2 right boxes. This is as hard as it gets in this class. And the goal is for you to demonstrate some critical thinking, problem solving skills, collaboration, teamwork, problem solving. Again, is really important to be able to work your way back from what standard we identified all the way to this is what we did and how we did it. Okay, so that's P. O is the same way. Again, demonstrating the 2 standards, evidencing who did them and when they were completed, and then supporting that with photography of evidence of those 2 standards. PO, S stands for safety, sanitation, and sustainability. here again, identifying two standards. One, you could pick one category just sanitation or one category just safety, or spread it out however you'd like, but you want to at least focus on a couple of these categories: safety, sanitation, sustainability. Identify two standards, write who did it specifically, and then again, support it with two photographs. Again, so much impossible. It's an impossibility for me to be everywhere in the classroom during the learning process. So the goal is for you to be able to evidence to me that you completed it. And it's a great way to formulate a defensible position of that we did what it is we were asked to do, or we did what it was that was in the cooking demonstration for the week, or the competency demonstration. So again, this is a great way to defend your position as an A, B, or C student, just by simply thinking about what standards you did, taking those appropriate pictures, and producing them in the SLAT. This is sort of a rigorous form of assessment. Here's an example of feedback, right? You might find that in the safety, sanitation, sustainability, this is what not to do. Taking pictures of we're washing dishes, but then you've got a knife in the sink. So then I would actually see a safety hindrance and I would deduct points. So you want to think about what you take pictures of, okay? And you want to be able to demonstrate that you're in alignment with the standards. So in this case, I am thoughtful related to the use of cooking and electrical equipment. This actually counterpoints that, so I would deduct points for that. So you want to be thoughtfully demonstrating it. In this case, proper knife storage would be the good way to demonstrate that. Moving on to the T slide here, again, two standards would be selected. You would evidence those in these two upper boxes, and then you're going to produce a taste note. So the idea of the taste note is simply for you to make a comment on what you liked about it, what you disliked. It might even be a texture component that you liked or disliked, but how did it taste overall as a dish? And then on the on the right-hand side of the screen here, you'll see a start to end of the cooking process. And this is here where you'll demonstrate sort of the beginning of the process, middle of the process, and end of the cooking process for whatever competency it is. So this is rice pilaf being prepared here from beginning to end. Dicing and chopping aromatics, scaling, a good demonstration of a competency there, and then cooking the rice pilaf and then cooling it. All right, that's a food safety picture there. Okay, so you'll simply take 4 pictures throughout the cooking process and demonstrate from beginning to end that align with the selected standards. Then you'll move to the green slides. You'll notice all the slides in advanced POST were all orange slides. You do these together on Fridays, okay? Then after you've completed the group work, you would independently type 3 things that you've learned. If you get stuck on what you've learned, you can simply use this to sort of jumpstart your thinking on what you learned for the week, okay? Type 3 comments, brief, a sentence to 2 sentences is more than reasonable, okay? And then here, you're going to do an individual reflection on where you landed on effort, satisfactory, proficiency, and mastery. And you're going to evaluate your high skills, which are cooking techniques, for this week. And then you're going to demonstrate an evaluation of your basic skills, which are the things that we learned at the beginning of the semester. How did we do for food safety and sanitation, kitchen operations and safety, measuring, knife handling, and safety? Okay, so you would think about the basic skills that we learned at the intro of the semester. How did I do there? What basic skills did I demonstrate well, and what ones can I still grow in? And the same thing for the technique-related advanced skill. How did we do? What did we do well? And what areas are opportunities for growth? And then the learning flame here would simply get dragged to anywhere on the road. So that's a requirement for this slide, is to take this flame and move it over to somewhere on the road where you felt like you landed. You're almost there, you're proficient, or you're a pro, you're mastery. You put the learning flame where you want to drop it. So there's a little directional right here, drag learning flame onto the road. And then the last slide here we have is the SEL slide, social emotional learning slide. And this is an opportunity for you to evaluate. And again, you're going to take this emoji smiley face right here, and you're going to drag it from over here and move it to what area that you're working on this particular week. So you might be working on relationship skills, responsible decision making, self-awareness, self-management, and social awareness. What category do you think you're investing in this week? And then just simply write here, as it says, related to social emotional learning, what areas did you grow this week, and explain how in 1 to 2 sentences. That's all you have to do. And it's pretty easy. Usually you can look at this and go, yeah, this week we had some conflict. So I had to sort of cool myself off and step away from the team for a minute. So I focused on self-management, whatever it might be. So a lot of the time this is reactionary, but you'll find that growth is happening and learning is happening in the SEL space. And that's it. That's the SLAT. So when we talk about social emotional learning, I want to just jump on in, and I'm going to show you a quick video here about SEL, and then we're going to wrap up this portion of the lecture, okay? So SEL here, I'm going to play this presentation.
How to open your car door while submerged underwater. A fatal construction flaw in all recent automobiles.
Think about the young people in your lives and all the different places where they're learning about themselves, how to relate to others, and work together on goals. How can we intentionally create learning experiences that will help all young people develop and maintain positive relationships, become lifelong learners, and contribute to a more caring, just world? Educators, researchers, community members, families, and the students themselves agree what we need is social and emotional learning, or SEL. SEL is the process through which young people and adults acquire and apply the knowledge, skills, and attitudes that help us to understand ourselves, connect with others, achieve our goals, and support our communities. We all need opportunities to learn and engage in environments where we feel safe, valued, and a sense of belonging. So how does SEL help schools, families, and communities work together so that all young people have these kinds of learning experiences and achieve success in education, careers, and life? Castle's framework identifies 5 areas of competence that together help us develop a healthy sense of who we are, manage stress, understand the views of others, and work together to create schools and communities where everyone can grow their strengths and interests. Self-awareness is about how we think about ourselves and who we are. It includes understanding our culture, our thoughts, feelings, and what we believe we're capable of, and understanding how these things can influence our behaviors and beliefs. Self-management is the ability to manage those emotions, thoughts, and actions in different situations so that we can achieve individual and collective goals. This includes coping with stress and anxiety, persevering through challenges, and taking action to create positive change. Social awareness is how we understand others, how we learn to take different perspectives and empathize even with people who are different from us. It also includes understanding how the broader norms and systems around us influence how we develop and create a sense of belonging. Relationship skills are how we connect and engage effectively with others, and how we form lasting friendships and connections. This includes communicating clearly, solving problems together, managing conflict and disagreements, and standing up for ourselves and the rights of others. Lastly, responsible decision-making is how we put it all together to make caring and constructive choices. This includes thinking critically about consequences, analyzing the impact of our actions on ourselves and others, and identifying solutions that support our collective well-being. We continue to develop and practice SEL throughout our lives and can adapt and apply these competencies across different contexts and cultures. How we develop SEL is impacted by our environments, which is why we need to work together across classrooms, schools, families, and communities. In the classroom, students can be explicitly taught SEL skills and also can practice and apply SEL during core subjects, like discussing different perspectives in social studies and language arts, or collaboratively problem solving in science or math. SEL is most effective when supported by evidence-based programs and trusting relationships where students are treated as partners in their learning. Beyond the classroom, SEL can be intentionally promoted throughout the school experience, from the way they're greeted in the morning to how discipline practices are carried out and how adults themselves develop and model positive relationships and the SEL competencies. Outside of school, families and caregivers provide the earliest and ongoing learning and interactions for their children, So it's important that schools listen to and authentically partner with families to help shape SEL priorities and strategies for supporting their children. Similarly, when schools partner with community organizations to align their efforts, SEL opportunities can be strengthened and students benefit even more. With SEL, we can help create schools and learning spaces where all young people feel connected, inspired, engaged, and ready to contribute to the world around them.
Okay, so we are using Castle Framework as sort of the structure for the SEL, this particular slide. And the goal is to create a healthy, safe learning environment where we're respectful of one another and we're comfortable to take risks in the learning process. And that's one of the reasons why I build SEL into this. This is an initiative here at Battleground Public Schools that's been growing here in the last few years. And so I've tried to increase our focus on it. And this is something you can look at holistically, sort of where are you at in the learning process, even for all of your classes. And sometimes we have things that disrupt our learning emotionally. And we need to, if we just give awareness to that, that can help us sort of get back on track. So that's SEL and how it fits into the assessment. There's a poster in the front of the classroom that talks a little bit more about SEL and what's in our control and what's out of our control. So you can see the actions of others, the past, the opinions of others, what happens around me, what other people think of me, how others take care of themselves, the future, the outcomes of my effort. All of these things are somewhat out of our control. Whereas your thoughts, actions, your self speak, the level of energy that you put into learning or into being engaged in this environment, the goals that you have related to learning, the boundaries that you have, all of these are things, how you manage your time, and even how you respond to challenges that you have. All of that fits into areas that are within your control. Okay, so just building this into the learning process, I think